to episode 9 of Ryan and Rob in Wrexham, where today we actually have the chance to win the title in League One. It wasn't what I was expecting at all this season. Certainly looking at the Dream 11 where we didn't have a single player in it at the start of the season, it's been quite surprising. I don't know where we ended up being predicted. We were predicted to be 7th by the end, and only really 2 players in that top 11, so Dane Murray and Kobbie Mainu, who I've now added a face to, but it does seem that those two are the best in the division now. They were much lower down before. But yeah, it seems like we've just done a really good job of bringing in the right loanees to get us through. I've got no idea quite how we were so consistent. But yeah, we've just had a few really good runs. This run here was not quite as good. But this recent run we've just won every game. And that means that we can go into this next game, and all we need is probably a point, if that even. I think if Reading drop points at all, we've won. But we're going to win it in this episode. It's just a case of whether it's this game or we have to wait another one. So without further ado, we'll head straight into this game today against Plymouth. Here is today's lineup. I managed to jump straight through it by accident. But we've got the likes of all our main loan players. So Dylan Williams comes in instead of James Maxwell. But Isaac Hansen-Aaron, Kobbie Mainu and Dane Murray are all starting in this first 11. We've also brought in Justin Amaluzor on the left-hand side instead of Ginley. He's actually leaving on a free transfer at the end of the season. He's decided that, but I'm fine with that really. It's just he's been pretty good this season. Got 15 goals in all competitions. We've also got Colm Whelan on 21 and Paul Mullin on 32. So even, 3 seasons in to this save, Colm Whelan and Paul Mullin are able to do the business. Particularly Paul Mullin, who in his first season got almost 60 goals. It's quite impressive. He's obviously Amaluzor. Sorry, mate. I tried to give you a chance, but you got injured. And that might be the last game he ever plays for us, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, Paul Mullin still doing the business in his third season with us, in his third league with us. But in reality, in real life, I think he was in League 2 and was top scorer. So he probably is League 1 level. Or Williams clears it out, and now Mullin doesn't quite lead to anything there. Apologies if you heard a dog in the background. That was one of my dogs was barking quite loudly. But we're back in it, and here we go. Trying to win a title before I was rudely interrupted. 4 shots to 3 so far. Not many on target for either team. We're not quite on the level that we usually play at, but often it does happen in the second half of the game. And maybe a hint of nerves. I'll tell the boys I wasn't happy. I'm sure they will understand that. They know that I'm not happy, and they're probably not happy with it themselves. Mullin not quite able to get involved in the game like he usually does, only on a 6.5. Dunkley. Hosanna. Hansen-Aaron. Finds Ginley, and that's a brilliant cross and a nice header from Ginley. Was never likely to miss once he jumped in there. It was a really good run, and Hansen-Aaron found him perfectly. That time he did not find one of our players perfectly, gave it away, but no one up front for Plymouth to aim for really, and Dunkley claims it pretty easily. It was a nice idea to try and chip it into Whelan there, but couldn't get it through Hosanna. Ginley into O'Connor, finds Mainu. Hansen-Aaron into Hosanna on the right hand side, another chance for a cross in, and it rebounds to Whelan, and he hasn't quite managed to get it on target, which is a shame. It was pretty much an open goal because the goalkeeper had already dived, but nothing in the end to write home about with that finish. O'Connor with his second corner of attempt there, and hits the first man. Not his finest, but here he goes again with another one from the other side this time. Headed out, but only to Ginley. Oh, he beats his man beautifully and goes for a decent effort, but just can't get it quite back into the post enough. We don't actually have anyone. So we'll put Miney on the right, and we'll go. Let's give Simon Evans a nice little run out. We'll do him as a box-to-box midfielder for the purposes of the dynamics and making sure the team doesn't fall apart. Thomas O'Connor can now come off for Jake for Stokowski, and hopefully that's enough for us to see out the game and also get one of our youth players a bit of game time. Hosanna finds Mullin, or attempts to. Ginley on the edge of the box. Oh, that's a really nice effort. Don't know if it was saved or if it hit the post, but that was a really good shot from Ginley. He's looked on form. He's trying to prove me wrong for benching him. And that looks like that is that. Can we win the title here? Looks like we haven't. What does this mean in terms of the table? We're 11 points clear with 4 games to go, so just about, at least 4 games for Reading, just about haven't won it. It may be by the time we have our next game that we've already won. We'll see what happens. We've actually already had our budget assigned for next season, which is 850,000 with 31.69 per week, per week in wages. So it's decent, you know. We'll take that as a starting budget. Hopefully we can find a couple of good players to bring in that aren't too expensive, and maybe we can sell a few players, or, you know, I don't know quite how we're going to afford anyone big. It's only not big enough to win us the championship, but it might be we're a couple of seasons in the championship and then we can get back up to the Premier League after that. This should be the game we win the title then, and we go with pretty much the strongest squad. Amaluzos had to drop out for Ginley, but given how well Ginley played in that last game, I'm not complaining too much, to be honest. We've also got Simon Jones has dropped out because he got an injury for 5 to 6 weeks, so he won't play again this season, which is a shame. You know, he just got one of his first appearances in the league, so it was a shame that he immediately got injured afterwards. And I was hoping to give him a few more opportunities in the last 2 weeks. A little bit on transfers. We've tried to get Dane Murray, Kobe Mainu and Hansen Aaron on loans next year. We'll see what happens with that. All the clubs have accepted them, and we're only paying £800 a week for all 3 of them. So, you know, hopefully they'll come back next season and make our life a lot easier in terms of planning. I don't know quite when players start thinking of you as a championship team, whether it's as soon as you get promoted, even if you've still got League One games to go, or whether it's something that only happens once you actually get to the championship. It may be that there are other teams after them that he'd prefer to go to, but we hope that our connection to them will be enough. Williams, who we aren't going to be bringing back, is only 2.5 star, so not going to be quite on the level we need for the championship. Paul Mullin to take the penalty. What can he do? Can he get his probably 33rd goal of the season? He can. Never in doubt. This guy is quite something. And he will be staying here, I believe, into next season. Whether he'll be our starting striker in the championship is, I don't know yet, but we'll see what happens with that. Murray. Williams. Nice bit of play here, and Williams has continued his run. Finds Hansen Aaron brilliantly, and that's really, really nice from Dylan Williams. And Hansen Aaron with a good bit of movement to get to the far post and sneak in. And it looks like this should be pretty comfortable in the end. Two expected goals already, in fact over 2 expected goals for us, and that's generally a good sign that you're pretty much dominating. And we haven't actually had all that many shots, like compared to what you normally need for 2 expected goals. So it just shows the quality of the shots we have had. And Dunkley with a header disallowed, sadly. It's a shame because he deserves to be getting goals given how good he's been for us throughout this save. Now picking up a yellow card for his troubles. And 2-0 at half time, we'll take that. It's a very promising performance so far. Morris turns the ball to Shepherd, and he's put in a beautiful cross for Vincent. O'Malley clearing it out because he's not very happy about losing his clean sheet. Notts County starting to come back into this, actually 7 shots, 3 on target. We could really do with a 3rd goal just to kill their momentum. And Murray, I thought he'd scored, but apparently not. Heading into the last 25 minutes of the game, and we are so close. I mean, I think we could probably afford to concede a goal, draw, and we'd still be able to win the title. But we'd like to go out on a win. We'll get Forster Caskey and James Jones on. I think we'll get Forster Caskey as a box-to-box for the rest of this game. Perhaps we'll get Ollie Palmer on, actually. He's going to be leaving at the end of the season, and I think we'll get Ben Tozer as well. Oh, I can't. Why can I not? Have I really made 3 substitutions already? Okay. That's a shame. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Ben Tozer can, even though he's our club captain, can just deal with not getting a goodbye appearance in the game that wins the title. Sorry, mate. But I feel like Ollie Palmer's more likely to keep us on level pegging, on 2-1 up, or even more. Whereas Tozer is only 2-star as a centre-back, so he's probably not going to be able to keep up with the players at this level. Oh, that's a brilliant ball. Palmer's in behind and has missed. Okay, clearly I should have brought on Tozer. Palmer heard me and wanted to prove me wrong, apparently. He's another one that's going to be leaving. So he wanted a new contract, basically. But I don't think he's on the level, and at 32 years old, he's not going to get any better. So I thought, rather than have him fumbling around in the Championship, we'll send him to somewhere where he can be really useful. Because he is a very good player for League 2 level at least, and can probably play quite a lot in League 1 and be pretty good. And Hansen Aaron has, for absolutely no reason, whacked that. They only had 1 defender back, and he just whacked it straight to the goalkeeper. He had a long way to carry it as well, so a bit disappointing from him. And that should be that. Are we not getting title celebrations at all? What's going on? Has that been removed from FM? Where are my title celebrations? I want them. I mean, we've won the title, haven't we? All the players we're getting in on loan. Yeah, we have got the title. I don't know why nothing's happened as a result, but we've won League 1. Key match was apparently a 3-3 draw. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Yeah, we've done pretty well. The board are very happy, as you'd understand. And Thomas O'Connor was the man of the match for us in that game. Reading yet to play their 44th game. So we don't quite know whether we needed to win that game or not, but we've done enough to ensure that we've won the title. And that does mean we are going to be heading into the Championship, which probably means I will be changing the scouting so that we have a different package. Where is the package? I can't see it right now, but we'll work it out. We'll find, maybe it's in the player search actually. The recruitment package is none at the moment. Okay, interesting. I guess it's probably because we don't have very much money in the bank. Ooh, 2 million in debt. I'm sure the board will clear that, but yeah, so we're going to need to make sure that we can actually scout a bit further than just the UK and Ireland now that we're in the Championship. I don't know how that will work with work permits, but hopefully there'll be a little bit of foreign talent that we can bring in. Oh, this is sad news. Both Hansen Aaron and Mainu have rejected us. I'm hoping that we can get them anyway next season once we're properly in the Championship, but it's a shame. Thankfully, Dane Murray will be staying, and he will be a very important player for us next season if we're gonna do anything in the Championship really. We then lost 4-3 to Gillingham, which isn't ideal, but you know we can still actually break the record for the most points, which is 103. So all we need is to win our final game, and that will be done. Well, here is our end of season review for League One season in 23-24. So it looks like Dane Murray was pick of our signings. 7.51 average rating is phenomenal at this level. Dylan Williams then was the second highest rated, interestingly. Maybe I'll have to consider getting him again. I think he's only League One level though, so probably won't be doing that. Kobe Mainu with a 7.03, Isaac Hansen Aaron only a 6.94, but still has been a decent signing, and a shame we can't get him next season. Josh Ginley with 52 appearances. I think he might have been the one who played the most, and he did decently, 11 goals, 7 assists, not outstanding but not awful. James Maxwell, did all of these guys get A stars? And then there was Josh Ginley with nothing. And that was 6.92. Jamie Cumming basically barely played, but did get a few games, and the board were reasonably happy with it because he was on a low wage. So despite being predicted to be 7th, which isn't even playoffs, we actually won the league. And yeah, we started off with a 2-0 loss to Forest Green, so I was a bit worried at that stage. And we done pretty well though, since particularly this last stage of the season. Before that loss against Gillingham, after we'd won the league, we hadn't dropped points in any game since the middle of February, so that's pretty impressive. Our biggest win was actually our last game against Salford. Ben Tozer even got a goal in his last ever appearance for the club. The club captain on his way out. Ollie Palmer also getting in on the action, which is nice that both of those guys managed to get their chance to say goodbye, and did well in that final appearance. Looks like we didn't do amazingly on competition prize money. Our reputation has actually gone up, that's good. That should help with loanees and things, but we're still quite a long way behind other teams at this level. Sponsorship gone up a lot, broadcast revenue up a fair bit, corporate and hospitality up quite a lot, and match day up a fair bit. This is our 11 of the season. Wow, no place for Mainu, very surprising. Guess Jake Foster-Caskey actually had a better average rating, but I will continue to try and get Mainu back because I love him in real life, and I reckon he'll really flourish in the Championship. And that is the end of that season. Let's see what's happening with everything else. So we did break the record for the most points. We'll accept the current division, which is fight bravely against relegation as usual. Dynamic's going to get a bit of a shake-up without those guys, but let's see what we can talk to the others about. Yeah, these two are not happy, but I think that's fine. They are really not happy, but yeah, we'll leave it there. It's only those two that are a bit unhappy, and certainly McFadzean's leaving. Hosanna will probably stay, but alright, the board won't increase the scout wages, which is a shame, but understandable given our financial situation. There's further good news, and we've managed to raise our youth level from 3 to 2, so that should ensure we start to get some better players in, and they'll be better developed when they do come to us. We're not quite level 1 yet, so we're not sort of Premier League level, but we should certainly get 1 or 2 great players coming through at some point. Well, it's been a phenomenal season. We now head into the Championship for the first time in Wrexham's history, and hopefully we can stay up and, who knows, perhaps even come first by accident again. Anyway, if you have enjoyed this episode and this season, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as it really helps me out. I hope to see you next time, but in the meantime, have a fantastic day.